So this video is going to be talking about Kai Wallslump setups. Kai does have 50-50 looping mix off of Wallslumps, and it's not quite as strong as someone like Happy Chaos or Eno. It's not like easy to access meterless, but it's still quite good when you can get it. And there's a lot of little asterisks and caveats. So the normal format of, text on screen, show the clip, and then another text on screen if there's something that needs a little bit of explaining, it's not going to work. There's going to be too many questions. It's going to be hard to accurately articulate. So I'm going to be talking for this one. So before we talk about the setup itself, we're going to talk about how to access it. Kai struggles a little bit to access compared to other characters, but he does have reliable ways to get it. Usually the footnote is that it costs 50 meter. The biggest and most important thing when doing combos with slump is end in 2p. You'll see a lot of things end in like close slash far slash or 2k to slump. End in 2p. The reason you want to end in 2p is 2p is his only way to loop Wallslump. There are ways off of a low option to end in close slash or far slash, but the only way to reliably loop off both low and overhead is going to be micro dash 2p. So yeah, end your combos in 2p. As far as combos are concerned, first one is going to be like if you punish something mid-screen, whether you punish it with 5k or it's like a super and you punish it with close slash, you can BRC, do 2H CSE. You want to actually micro dash 2p at the end there usually. If you're close to the corner, you can just do regular 2p. But if you're like mid-screen, most of the time, for some reason, this does more wall damage than this. So you want to micro dash. And also, if you're pretty far out, like you're doing it like the max range you can do it, you need a micro dash 2p to slump. And we'll get into the difference between micro dashing 2p and doing 2p in place later. If you can do 2p in place, it actually is better. But it's way less reliable. If you're like sick nasty at the game, you can confirm jump-ins. You see there, I dropped it. If you can somehow hit confirm jump-ins into BRC down 2H, or BRC down close slash, then, that's also a way to access it. And something to note before I get too much into detail, you can also close slash RX CSE. Not bad. The problem with this is it does less wall damage, so you'll need 2 TPs all the time. But it's probably a little bit easier of a combo. It depends. If car CSE is easier, then this is going to be easier. But if the dash up after 2H CSE is easier, then, that combo is going to be easier. I like the 2H one more because it does more wall damage. But it's also good to, like, watch your wall health, so if you have a little bit more damage than you normally would, but not enough damage that you could splat with 2Ps off of, like, the CSE hitting, then you can do close slash car CSE for a little bit less wall damage intentionally. So some more combos that access it, some more ways. 2H from this distance. It actually works a little bit further out than where I am now. Will get you a meter with Wallslump. That micro dash 2p at the end is pretty tight, but it is, I believe, Kai's only somewhat practical way to meterlessly Wallslump. It's really good. It's really good. Another one is crouch confirm. So if you counter hit 5H crouchers, you actually get 5k after 2 and 4k. Whereas if I set her to stand, didn't work, right? And this lets you do the same DRC shenanigans from before. If you're close to the corner, you want to do what I just did there and mash 2P until they slump. But if you're far out, you can't do it. But like, to show what I'm talking about.
I can see you. I can see you. Now I can see the results of this.
Right, you want to do that. Because if you do the full combo, you won't slump with 2P, and like I said earlier, you want to slump with 2P. But if you're far out, you can just do the same shit from earlier. But yeah, if you hit crouchers with counter hit 5H, that's another way to enable slump. But yeah, if you find anything else, you know, get creative, right? Figure out ways that you can slump more situations, because I'm sure they exist. I just haven't labbed them yet. But those are some examples of how you can get Wallslump. And now that we've talked about those, and you know how to enable slump, what do you do once they're slumped, right? And that's what we're going to talk about next. So, let's start with low.
I can see you. Stay vigilant.
There's your low option. For those that are astute, you will notice very quickly this is not an exact frame kill, right? I dashed for a manual amount of time. That part was not auto-timed, and that's the one thing that has made me reluctant to make this video, is I've yet to find an exact frame kill to make empty low hit meaty enough to be reversal safe and combo with the 2P. I've not given up. I will find one, but I do want to post this shit even without an exact frame kill, because you know, one might not exist. I want one to exist. I'm gonna try and make it exist, but you know, if I'm constantly looking for something that may not exist, then this tech never gets put out there. Yada yada yada. So yeah, there is a little bit of manual timing involved, and that's kind of where the difference between microdash 2P and 2P in place comes in. That, again, we'll talk about a little bit later. But the idea is, on slump, you backdash, dash jump with 5k, and then 5k when you land.
You're live for the Holy Order. I strike. Breathe. Stay vigilant. To resort to this. Now I strike. This is my full strength. Breathe.
Backdash, dash jump with
Stay
5k.
vigilant.
I missed the link, but you get the point. With jump k, I should say, not with 5k. With jump k, 5k, you know. And this, again, it splats with 2p, loops back into itself. Now we move on to overhead, which is going to be slightly more complicated, slightly more difficult, a little bit more manual timing as well.
This is my full strength. About this. Breathe. I strike. Now. This is my full strength. Breathe. Admit your defeat.
But there you go. It's ID back JH, microdash 2P, and this slumps and loops back into itself. So that is the crux behind your 50-50 at the wall. Right? You spot with 2P, backdash, and then you either land with empty 5k, which is meaty enough to combo with 2P, or you ID back JH for an overhead. It's not unfuzzyable, but it's harder to fuzzy than, say, doing whatever into CSE. I would also like to mention that both of these options are reversal safe as well. So chip here sets the DP. I messed up the timing. Right. And overhead as well is also reversal safe.
Stay vigilant. About this to resort to this. I can see you. I can aid a blade.
Right. So both are reversal safe. You won't get DP. You won't get reversal super. Chip's got a 9-frame reversal. Obviously, caveats to this are always going to be Anji reversal super and bike and parry. It's honestly maybe not even worth going for setups like this against Viking, but you know, it's most of the time going to be safe to attempt. The punish on the DP actually isn't the best, but because you splat so fast and you probably already burnt 50 meter, get in the slump. But you can always just slump off punishing the DP again and put them back in the same situation. So even if you don't have the resources to kill them for DPing on your safe jump, you know, you still put them back in a situation where they have to guess. So I'm sure the question's going to arise, what about backdash GGST? This is something that I see Kai players do when they get Wallslump all the time. This shit's mid as fuck. This shit's not that good. It's okay, but let me show you. That's not even a frame kill, first of all. You can fuck up, and there's manual time in there anyway. It's way easier to fuzzy the mix-up because it's like a 9-frame window between high and low, and low is fake half the time. Low is fake a lot of the time, actually. You can get low to be real at like the right spacings or by doing like certain frame kills after certain moves that slump, but it's so much more finicky for a worse mix-up. If you slump against Viking and you really don't want to go back to neutral, for example, I think it's pretty good, right? Backdash just delay CSC to make sure you keep on pressure. And your reward for the mix-up's decent. Overhead you get a slump, and low you put CSC back on them. So the reward is mostly fine. It's not quite as good, but the reward is mostly fine. But I would honestly not do this unless you're fighting Viking. Basically, I don't think it's that good. Because the situation offensively, it's not bad, it's good, but it's not super oppressive. Like, it's not that hard to get out of. It's tough, but not. You're not guessing for your life. You can learn the fuzzy timing a lot easier. The last thing I want to talk about, which I've been alluding to a lot, is when 2P splats without a micro dash.
This is my full I can see you. See.
There we go. There's a frame kill, and just to show, you know, it works. We'll have not 2P.
I can see you.
I messed up.
You're mine. This is my full strength. I can see you.
There you go. You do have a frame kill that works when 2P splats at max range. The reason this doesn't work when you microdash 2P is the 5 cable wall break.
I can see you.
So I can actually get my dash out.
I can see you.
Right, if I microdash 2P for consistency, the 5 cable wall breaks. However, when 2P is spaced out, you do have a frame kill that baits DP and meaty's enough for you to combo with 2P. I wish I wish something existed when you microdash 2P, because that's you know, the situation you're going to be in the most, but I've yet to find it. So that's all I have for Wallslump mix. That's how you access the setup. That's the setup. I'm gonna still try and work on a frame kill for micro-2p. I do want to find something, and I will post it if I find it. But for now, this is the best I got. If you find out any optimizations, please, by all means, let me know. I'd love to hear them. But that's it. I think even with the manual timing, this is quite strong and something that you would actively want to go for if it's a situation where you can. Because like when you're just doing CSE after Wallslump, it's like, okay, is this really worth more than positive bonus? But if you have a reliable way to mix and loop the situation, then it starts to get a lot more valuable. You can also go for it like once or twice, and then just break the third time, right? Because you usually don't need that many. Like, for a situation you're getting a slump, you're likely, the round's been going on for a while anyway, at least enough for you to have 50 meter. The combo that slumps does pretty good damage. You don't need that many to kill, right? So I think it's a really good tool to have, even if it's not as accessible as like HC or Eno or something. But yeah. Again, if anybody can find a frame kill, please let me know. I've been searching for so long, and I just want to find one. Thanks for watching. I hope you get something out of this. I hope you start slumping people and mixing them.